Imagine waking up tomorrow morning feeling truly refreshed. No more tossing and turning all night, no more waking up exhausted. For many over 55, this feels like a distant dream trapped in a cycle of restless nights and foggy days. Sleep troubles don't just drain your energy, they quietly chip away at your overall health and happiness. You might have tried countless solutions, sleep aids, herbal teas, routines, but nothing delivers lasting relief. What if the answer has been right in your kitchen all along? Ginger, a simple root, holds powerful natural properties that can soothe your nervous system, improve circulation, and help you fall into deep, healing sleep without the side effects of medication. If you're ready to break free from sleepless nights and wake up energized, let's explore how ginger can be your natural sleep solution. Part 1. Why does sleep change as we age? As we age, sleep changes. This is an undeniable truth many over 55 face every night. You may find yourself waking up more often, struggling to fall back asleep, or not feeling fully rested even after a full night in bed. This isn't just a minor annoyance, it directly impacts your energy, mood, and overall health. Understanding why sleep shifts as we grow older is the first step toward reclaiming restful nights. One key reason is that our bodies produce less of the deep, restorative sleep that rejuvenates both mind and body. The natural sleep cycles shorten, and the time spent in the most refreshing stages decreases. This leaves you feeling tired, even after what should be a full night's rest. The brain's ability to regulate sleep-wake cycles also weakens with age, making it harder to maintain consistent, uninterrupted sleep. Physical changes play a significant role too. Circulation slows down, body temperature regulation becomes less efficient, and chronic conditions such as arthritis or restless leg syndrome can cause discomfort that interrupts sleep. It's common for older adults to experience more frequent bathroom trips at night, breaking the sleep cycle and making it tougher to fall back asleep. Stress and anxiety, which often increase with age due to life changes or health concerns, amplify these issues. When your mind races or worries take over, it's nearly impossible to slip into the peaceful rest your body needs. This mental tension keeps your nervous system in a state of alertness, preventing relaxation. Lifestyle habits formed over years, like irregular sleep schedules, caffeine intake, or late-night screen time, can also worsen sleep quality. The natural production of melatonin, the hormone that signals it's time to sleep, diminishes with age, making it harder to fall asleep naturally. But here's the truth. While these changes are natural, they don't have to control your nights. Understanding how your body and brain evolve with age empowers you to take action. Simple, natural strategies can help support your body's sleep mechanisms, improve circulation, and calm your nervous system. Restoring better sleep is possible, and it starts with recognizing these age-related shifts and addressing them directly. You deserve nights where you fall asleep quickly, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed. Because quality sleep isn't a luxury, it's essential for your health, happiness, and vitality at any age. Part 2. Ginger, a small, warm secret for deep sleep. Ginger might seem like just another kitchen spice, but for millions of people over 55 struggling with restless nights, it holds a powerful secret, a natural, gentle way to support deep, restful sleep. If you've spent years fighting sleep troubles with little success, it's time to consider how this small root can make a big difference. The journey to better sleep often starts with calming your body and mind, and that's exactly what ginger does. It has a natural warming effect that improves blood flow and relaxes your nervous system, two critical factors in falling and staying asleep. Unlike many sleep aids that rely on chemicals or pharmaceuticals, ginger works with your body's own rhythms, supporting your health without side effects like grogginess or dependence. Science backs up what traditional wisdom has known for centuries. Ginger contains bioactive compounds, gingerol and chargale, that reduce inflammation and soothe an overactive nervous system. Inflammation and stress are two of the biggest sleep disruptors for older adults. When inflammation is high, your body feels tense, restless, and uncomfortable. When your nervous system is on edge, your brain struggles to transition into the peaceful state required for quality sleep. Ginger helps ease both, creating an environment where deep rest can flourish. Furthermore, ginger promotes healthy circulation. As we age, blood flow tends to slow, which can leave extremities cold and contribute to nighttime awakenings. By dilating blood vessels and increasing circulation, ginger helps maintain body warmth and reduces the physical discomfort that often jolts you awake. Ginger's benefits don't stop there. It also influences hormones related to stress and sleep. Cortisol, the stress hormone, tends to be elevated in those with insomnia, keeping the body alert when it should be resting. Studies show ginger can help regulate cortisol levels, allowing your system to relax. Additionally, ginger may encourage the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that plays a crucial role in regulating sleep-wake cycles. Unlike prescription sleeping pills or over-the-counter remedies, ginger doesn't cause addiction or daytime drowsiness. This makes it a safer, sustainable option for seniors who want to avoid the negative effects that many medications bring. The practical side of ginger use is simple and flexible, making it easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Drinking a warm cup of ginger tea in the afternoon or early evening sends a calming message to your body. It warms your core, relaxes your muscles, and gently signals your brain that it's time to wind down. But ginger isn't only for drinking. Its soothing effects can also be delivered through topical methods like foot soaks, which take advantage of the thousands of nerve endings in your feet. Soaking your feet in warm ginger water improves circulation and relaxes tension, preparing your body for a restful night. It's important to understand that ginger is not a magic cure that works overnight for everyone. Sleep patterns and health vary, so some people notice improvements quickly, while others see gradual benefits over 1 to 2 weeks. Consistency is key. When used correctly, ginger complements other healthy sleep habits, such as a regular bedtime, limiting caffeine, and creating a relaxing pre-sleep routine to maximize your chances of deep, restorative sleep. For those hesitant about trying natural remedies, ginger offers a risk-free alternative. It's inexpensive, widely available, and doesn't require a prescription. More importantly, it respects your body's natural processes instead of overriding them. In summary, ginger is a small but mighty ally in your quest for better sleep. By reducing inflammation, calming the nervous system, improving circulation, and supporting hormonal balance, it helps create the perfect conditions for your body to rest deeply and wake refreshed. If restless nights have been your norm, giving ginger a chance might be the gentle change you need to reclaim peaceful, restorative sleep. Remember, quality sleep is foundational to your overall health and well-being. As you embrace natural ways to support your rest, ginger stands out as a warm, comforting friend that's ready to help you every night. Part 3: 3 simple, safe, and effective ginger methods to try tonight. Method 1: ginger tea with honey and lemon, a perfect blend that soothes nerves, balances blood sugar, and promotes deep sleep. If you've been searching for a natural, effective way to improve your sleep starting tonight, one of the easiest and most powerful methods is drinking ginger tea with honey and lemon. This simple drink is more than just a comforting beverage. It's a carefully balanced combination that soothes your nerves, stabilizes blood sugar, and prepares your body for deep, restorative sleep. Let's start with why this blend works so well. Ginger has natural warming and calming properties that help relax your nervous system and improve circulation, two essential factors for falling asleep quickly and staying asleep. Honey adds a touch of natural sweetness that isn't just tasty, it helps stabilize your blood sugar levels throughout the night. This is especially important for seniors, as fluctuating blood sugar can cause restless sleep or middle-of-the-night awakenings. Lemon brings a mild, refreshing tang, packed with vitamin C, which supports your immune system and adds a soothing aroma that can calm your mind. Preparing this tea is straightforward, which means it's easy to make part of your nightly routine. Boil about half a liter of water and add 4 to 6 slices of fresh ginger. Simmer gently for 5 minutes to extract the full essence of ginger's active compounds. After turning off the heat, let the water cool slightly to a comfortable temperature. Then stir in a tablespoon of honey and the juice of a quarter to half a lemon, depending on your taste. Sip this warm, fragrant tea about an hour before bedtime to give your body enough time to absorb the benefits and send calming signals to your brain. Drinking this tea isn't just about the ingredients, it's also about the ritual. Taking a moment to slow down, sit comfortably, and enjoy the soothing warmth helps transition your mind and body from the busyness of the day to the calm needed for sleep. Many people find that this quiet time with a warm cup in hand becomes a cherished part of their evening, signaling to their body that it's time to rest. This method is gentle but effective. Unlike sleep medications, ginger tea doesn't cause grogginess or dependency. It works naturally with your body, supporting your internal rhythms and improving sleep quality over time. While some may notice results within a few nights, others might need consistent use over a week or two to experience the full benefits. Keep in mind a few tips for best results. Avoid drinking the tea too close to bedtime if you're prone to acid reflux or digestive discomfort, as the lemon can sometimes irritate sensitive stomachs. Also, use raw honey rather than processed varieties for maximum health benefits, and always choose fresh ginger root for the best flavor and potency. Incorporating this ginger, honey, and lemon tea into your nightly routine is a small, manageable change that can make a big difference. It's a natural, soothing way to calm your nerves, balance your blood sugar, and prepare your body for the deep, peaceful sleep you deserve. If you're ready to stop struggling and start sleeping better, give this simple tea a try tonight. You might be surprised at how quickly your body responds to this warm, healing ritual. Method 2. Ginger and salt foot soak. Relaxes acupressure points, improves circulation, warms feet, and reduces tension. If you're looking for a way to relax your body deeply before bed without taking anything by mouth, a ginger and salt foot soak is an incredibly effective natural method. This simple practice targets the many acupressure points on your feet, which are connected to your heart, brain, and nervous system. By soaking your feet in warm ginger-infused water with a touch of salt, you stimulate circulation, warm your extremities, and ease tension that may be keeping you awake at night. As we age, poor circulation and cold feet are common culprits behind restless sleep. Cold feet make it harder for your body to enter the relaxation phase needed for deep sleep. Ginger naturally dilates blood vessels and encourages blood flow, while the added salt enhances the warming effect and provides mild antibacterial and anti-inflammatory benefits. This combination creates a cozy, soothing environment right at your feet, sending calming signals through your nervous system. To prepare this soak, start with half a fresh ginger root, washed and crushed to release its active compounds. Fill a basin with warm water between 104 degrees F and 113 degrees F, 40 degrees C to 45 degrees C, warm enough to feel deeply soothing but not so hot that it causes discomfort or burns. Add the ginger and about 1 teaspoon of salt, stirring to dissolve. Soak your feet for about 20 minutes before bedtime. While soaking, gently massage your soles and toes to further stimulate circulation and relax muscles. After drying your feet, slip on a pair of thin socks to keep the warmth in throughout the night. This helps maintain the dilation of blood vessels and prevents your body from cooling down suddenly, which can disrupt sleep. Many seniors find that just a few nights of consistent foot soaks reduce their nighttime restlessness, help them fall asleep faster, and wake up feeling more refreshed with warm hands and feet. It's a gentle, drug-free way to relax deeply. Be mindful of a few important precautions. Avoid soaking if you have open wounds, infections, or skin conditions on your feet. Those with serious health issues like diabetes with vascular complications, recent surgery, or heart problems should consult their doctor before trying this method. Also, don't soak for longer than 30 minutes or use water harder than recommended to prevent unwanted side effects. This ginger and salt foot soak is more than just a warm bath for your feet. It's a natural, soothing ritual that relaxes your entire body and nervous system. It sends the message that it's time to let go of the day's tension and prepare for a night of deep, healing sleep. If restless legs or cold feet have been keeping you awake, this simple soak could be the key to your best sleep in years. Method 3. Ginger tea with rock sugar. Mild and warming, ideal for beginners or those sensitive to heat. Ginger tea with rock sugar offers a mild, soothing warmth that's perfect for anyone new to using ginger or sensitive to stronger heat sensations. This gentle blend balances the natural spiciness of ginger with the soft sweetness of rock sugar, creating a comforting drink that relaxes the body without overwhelming the senses. Rock sugar isn't just a sweetener, it helps balance ginger's warming effects, preventing dryness or excessive heat in the mouth and throat. The light sweetness also calms the taste buds, signaling the brain that it's time to slow down and prepare for rest. This subtle flavor makes it easier to enjoy ginger's benefits, especially for those who find plain ginger tea too intense. Preparation is simple. Take half a fresh ginger root, wash it thoroughly and slice it thinly. Place the slices into about half a liter of water and bring to a boil. After the water boils, reduce heat and simmer for about 5 minutes to release the ginger's essence fully. Add a small amount of rock sugar to taste and stir until dissolved. Drinking this tea warm during the afternoon or early evening helps maintain a gentle warming effect on the body, promoting relaxation as the day winds down. Unlike stronger ginger remedies, this version is less likely to cause any discomfort or heat-related irritation, making it especially suitable for seniors or those with sensitive digestive systems. It's a gentle introduction to ginger's sleep-supporting properties, encouraging gradual adaptation while still providing calming benefits. Consistency is key with this method. Drinking ginger tea with rock sugar regularly can help ease tension, improve circulation, and support your body's natural transition into sleep. Over time, you may find your nights becoming more peaceful and your mornings more refreshed. This simple, mild tea fits easily into any evening routine, offering a natural, soothing way to prepare your body for rest. Whether you're new to herbal remedies or prefer a lighter approach, ginger tea with rock sugar is a gentle, effective step toward better sleep and overall well-being. Part 4. Important cautions when using ginger. Using ginger as a natural sleep aid offers many benefits, but it's important to understand that, like any remedy, it must be used thoughtfully and safely. If you're over 55 and considering adding ginger to your routine, knowing the right precautions can help you avoid unwanted side effects and get the best results for your sleep and overall health. First, be aware that ginger has a warming effect on the body. This is part of what makes it so effective for improving circulation and calming the nervous system. However, if you have certain health conditions or are experiencing specific symptoms, this warming effect might not be suitable. For example, if you have a high fever or are dealing with an active infection, using ginger could potentially worsen inflammation or discomfort. In such cases, it's best to wait until your condition improves before trying ginger. People with open wounds, skin infections, or ulcers on their feet or body should avoid ginger foot soaks or topical applications. Because ginger stimulates blood flow and circulation, it may irritate these conditions or slow healing. If you have diabetes with vascular complications, recent surgery, or serious heart disease, it's essential to consult your doctor before using ginger treatments, especially foot soaks. Your healthcare provider can help determine whether it's safe based on your individual health profile. Using ginger in moderation is crucial. While it's a natural remedy, excessive or long-term use, particularly of strong ginger teas or concentrated extracts, can place stress on your liver and digestive system. Overuse might cause symptoms such as stomach upset, heartburn, or, in rare cases, more serious health issues. Stick to recommended doses and give your body breaks from continuous use. If you have a sensitive stomach or are prone to acid reflux, be cautious about consuming ginger with citrus, such as lemon, which can sometimes increase irritation. Drinking ginger tea earlier in the evening rather than right before bed may help avoid digestive discomfort that could disrupt your sleep. Keep in mind that ginger should complement, not replace, other healthy sleep habits. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine in the hours before bedtime, and maintain a consistent sleep schedule to support your body's natural rhythms. Ginger works best as part of a holistic approach to sleep health. Lastly, if your insomnia is persistent, severe, or accompanied by other troubling symptoms, such as significant weight loss, chest pain, or extreme fatigue, seek medical advice promptly. Ginger can support better sleep but is not a substitute for professional diagnosis or treatment of underlying health issues. In summary, ginger offers a safe, natural way to improve sleep for many seniors when used responsibly. Understanding these important cautions helps ensure you enjoy its benefits without risks. Approach ginger thoughtfully, listen to your body, and consult your healthcare provider when in doubt. This mindful approach will help you harness ginger's healing power effectively and safely as part of your journey to restful, restorative sleep. After exploring how aging changes our sleep and discovering the gentle, powerful role ginger can play in restoring restful nights, it's clear that improving sleep is both a science and an art. Sleep isn't just a passive state, it's a vital process that renews the body, sharpens the mind, and supports overall health. As we age, our bodies naturally face challenges that disrupt this process, but nature offers tools like ginger to help us navigate these changes with grace. Ginger works by addressing the root causes of restless sleep: inflammation, poor circulation, nervous system tension, and hormonal imbalances, without harsh chemicals or side effects. It is a reminder that healing can be simple and holistic, grounded in the wisdom of the body's natural rhythms. Whether through warming teas or soothing foot soaks, incorporating ginger into your routine sends clear signals to your body that it's time to relax, restore, and recharge. Yet, as with all remedies, thoughtful use and attention to your unique health needs make all the difference. Respecting your body's signals, understanding precautions, and combining ginger with healthy sleep habits form the foundation for lasting change. Remember, deep, restorative sleep is within reach. It's not a distant dream, but a tangible goal, supported by simple natural practices and a mindful approach. Each night offers a new opportunity to rest well, heal, and greet the morning refreshed. Your journey to better sleep is personal, and every small step counts. Embrace the warmth and calm that ginger brings, and let it be a gentle companion on your path to peaceful, rejuvenating rest.